now that you've assembled your pajama pants, it's time to finish them. The two things we need to finish on your pajama pants are the waistline and the hem, which is the bottom edge of the pant leg. And we're going to start with the waistline. So for the waistband, we want to lay our pants down on our work surface. Okay, then you're going to take the top edge of your waistband and you're going to fold it down 1/2 inch and then iron in place. Okay. So now that we've ironed down this 1/2 inch all the way around, we're going to actually do the same thing one more time. But this time we're going to measure down 1.5 inches. Okay, we're at the same line, 1.5. And we're just going to fold our fabric on that 1.5 inch line and then iron this in place. Now, the reason that we do this twice is because you can see here how nice and finished this bottom edge will be. We're going to take this and we'll sew it right along here. What that does is, since we ironed it this first time already, all of these unfinished edges where you can see my thread is coming undone and looking kind of messy, all of that will be sewn inside of this waistband. So it'll be nice and finished and you won't have any loose threads coming out or looking kind of messy. This will look nice and finished. So now that we've ironed that all the way around, we should have a 1/2 inch iron up here and then another fold that's a 1.5 inch wide iron, okay? And once you have both of these done, then what we're going to do is sew right along this edge to finish our waistline, okay? Now, if it makes it easier for sewing, please grab some straight pins and pin this in position. Okay, so you can pin and pin if that makes it easier for you. Okay, and the other trick to this is that you're going to want to leave a 2 to 3 inch gap when you sew this. So say you start here at this finger, you're going to sew all the way around, keep going, and then get to about here and stop. So that way you leave the space between my fingers open, not stitched. And what that will do is it will give us a little gap here where we can insert the elastic. So let's head to the sewing machine and I'll show you what this looks like. So now we're over here at the sewing machine and I drew in this red line to show you the 1/2 inch fold of fabric that we have underneath here, okay? So you just want to make sure that you sew somewhere between this edge of fabric and this red line. And the red line is actually, this 1/2 inch is the same distance, the same width as my foot. So I'm just going to keep the edge of my foot lined up with the edge of my fabric and also right down the middle of this fold, okay? So remember, we're going to sew all the way around, leaving a 2 to 3 inch gap to put the elastic in. Okay, now as I reach this pin, you can see this is my previous line of stitching, what I already did. So once I reach this pin, I'm going to stop. So that way I leave myself this gap to put the elastic in. So now we're going to take our elastic and a safety pin. And we're just going to take the safety pin and poke it through the elastic. Okay. And this just makes it a lot easier to pull the elastic through. So we're going to take this and we're going to poke it into our hole that we left right here. I'm going to poke it in there. And the easiest thing I've found is to hold the bottom of your safety pin down here and poke the rest of it through. And then start pulling fabric onto the safety pin. Push, 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 push. And eventually the safety pin is going to get full with all that fabric. Then you want to pinch your front fingers, let go of the back, and pull this along. Okay? And then repeat. I'm just going to feel around in here until I find the back of my safety pin. Then I'm going to shove fabric onto it. Shove, 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 shove. And then once it's full, grab the front and then pull all of this through. You're just going to keep going until your elastic comes out the other side. Okay, and at some point, your safety pin will pop back out of the same hole. So now you should have two pieces of elastic, both coming out of that hole. So what you're going to want to do is take the ends of your elastic and pin them together. And then pull all of your fabric apart so it's more evenly spread out. Once you've got it evenly spread out around your elastic, you're going to want to try these on and adjust the elastic to whatever size is most comfortable. Okay, so I have my pajama pants on, and as you can see, they're really, really wide. So I'm just going to take my elastic that's behind me, and I'm just going to pull it. Okay, so here it is. I'm just going to pull it until these feel comfy, okay? And then wherever I find that they work best, where they feel really good, okay, so let's just say that it's there, okay? I'm gonna hold my elastic, okay? And you can mark it with a pen or something, or you can use one of your straight pens and just pin it in place. Okay, be careful, don't poke it up with a straight pen, but then you can pin it in place and just make sure that they're comfortable, that they're where you want, that everything fits. So once you have pinned the elastic in place and carefully taken your pajama pants off without poking yourself, now we just need to sew the elastic. So here's where I pinned, where I said that my elastic fit well. So I'm just going to pull my elastic out some so I have room to work. Okay. And I want to triple check that my elastic is flat all the way around, no twists. Okay, that won't be very fun. So once everything is nice and flat, and both of them come straight up and out like this, I'm going to cut my elastic so I know I have the right length. Okay. I'm going to unpin it Then I'm going to lay them on top of each other like this. So they're flat and they make one big loop all the way around. Okay? So now that they're flat together, I'm going to put a pin through it. The elastic can be stretchy. Okay? And then once that is pinned down nicely, we're going to sew this. So here is the elastic that I just pinned in, laying nice and flat. And I'm just going to sew this down. So here's the elastic that we just sewed. And I can just grab my pajama pants and pull them. And that elastic will just pull right up inside this hem that we've already sewn. Now, all you have to do is lay this down nice and flat and throw it back on your sewing machine, okay? You're just going to fill in this little gap that we left earlier between here and here. Once you've sewn the gap, you are now done with the elastic band on your pajama pants. So exciting! Now all we have left to do is the hem at the bottom. And it's actually really similar to the waistband, so it's gonna be super easy. Are you enjoying this DIY pajama series? If yes, then throw a like below by hitting the like button, and be sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be the first to know when any new DIY projects hit my channel.